Phil, 22-2 in second chance points, which is the reverse of what happened the other night. How big of a factor was that tonight for you guys?
Probably the win. Probably the key factor in the game.
Well, after Kobe's first quarter, what did you think he had, and what did you think he could give you from then on?
Better get him off the floor. He's a liability. But he came back in the second strong as ever. And after misplay on, trying to give a foul and a three-point play by Trevor, he was able to get it go.
Did he say anything about wanting to be back in, or were you just going to put him back in as a matter of course and see how he did?
He wanted to go back in the fourth quarter a little bit earlier than I put him in.
Second quarter.
No, I think that's about the time we coincided on it.
What did you expect out of him when you sent him back in?
In the second period? I expect him to lift the level of his game up. Yeah, the first time out, he was kind of feeling himself, how it was going out there in the court.
That dunk that he had on Okafor, do you think that really got him going?
Got the crowd going. And it seemed to spark him. He was at a point that's enough. So I think that was a big statement.
When he had that first dunk, did that tell you anything about him?
No. Just that he was mad.
Coach,
They'll call at the other end of the floor.
Coach, Chris Paul had 8 assists early on, and then the team seemed to do a better job on him. What changed?
I think we had our hands on a lot of balls, and it's uncharacteristic of them to have 19 turnovers in a ball game, and so that was a big part of the game. And also, it's when we have a lead and can play from a lead, I think it changes up how they attack us a little bit too.
After the first quarter, you took Kobe off of Trevor from Bellinelli. Was it your judgment he just couldn't keep up with him?
That's right.
Phil, you guys said you guys tried to convince Kobe to go for X-rays or MRI, and he didn't. Do you consider the issue closed now after this performance?
I think it would be much more noticeable if it's an issue, 48 hours after the event. So it would really become pronounced if it was.
Phil, with this comfortable win against the Hornets here, talk about going back to New Orleans, what you're going to have to do to maintain this momentum.
Well, obviously you saw the switch of, really what we call hustle points in the game. Loose balls, rebounds, second chance points. And, fell in our favor tonight, was in their favor on Sunday night. We're going to have to neutralize that when we go to their home court.
In fact, you're able to get Kobe 28 minutes, have a sizable lead. What's the value of that moving forward? And
hopefully, he'll be able to, regain some of that strength and start working on the strengthening aspect again. We'll be able to keep the swelling out as we go forward, especially on a flight cross country. It's not quite cross country, but it's a little more than 2/3 of the way. And, he can kind of adjust to how he can play with it.
Can you also talk about the play of your front court? It seemed Pau looked at the officials, and when they didn't call something, he just pushed back. It seemed like they had too much of what they were doing out there.
Yeah, they've kept our big guys off the blocks, and so we were telling them to claim it. If they're going to allow them to be physical back. We got a couple offensive fouls for doing it, but at least we set a tone in the game as to how we wanted to play.
You know Ariza obviously pretty well. Are you surprised at the way he's playing offensively, in particular in the series?
Well, he's really lifted his game. Trevor did not have a good year shooting the three-point shot. He shot it well against us, so that's obviously a big part. And I think he feels, comfortable out there. We have to make him feel a little more uncomfortable out there on the floor.
So how important was that contribution from your second unit at the start of the second quarter of the game?
Both quarters they played in, or both halves that they played in, they gave us a big boost. Start of the fourth quarter, and obviously in the second period when we were behind, they came out and established something, and they got us back in the ball game.
When you woke up this morning, was this the kind of performance you expected from your team now looking back?
Well, you hope for it. You don't expect it. It's your home court. We're coming back And this is, what you play all year for, is to have this energy in a situation like that. So, expected, no. Hope for, yes.
Phil, when nobody out there knows what you guys are going to get from Kobe, do you think that's something that actually lifts your team or raises the level of urgency?
Yeah, I thought everybody played a little more purposeful. Ron obviously didn't have the kind of touches that he's had in the past, but everybody else was really big in contribution.